Trello is the easy, free, flexible, and visual way to manage your projects and organize anything. If you're looking for a tool that will help you streamline your work projects and manage your teams with ease, then Trello is something for you. In this video, I'll show you how Trello works and how you can start using it today. If right now you have zero knowledge about Trello, then don't worry, because after this video, you'll walk away with everything you need to know to optimize your workflow. Okay, so here we are on Trello, and let's get into the good stuff right away. So I'm on the Trello homepage, and Trello is a project management tool that lets you work together and get more done. So if you want to sign up for an account, it's actually quite easy. So step number one is going to Trello and clicking right there on sign up, which you can find at the top right corner. Next up, you can sign up for your account. Now, there are different ways to do this. You can enter your email, or you can continue with Google or continue with Microsoft. Now, I personally like to use continue with Google, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do right now. And there we go. So right now we can get started setting up our first project. So Trello works with boards, cards, and lists, which I'll get into a bit later on in the video, but let's get started with our first workflow. So welcome to Trello. You can organize just about anything with a Trello board, which is that thing over there. So this is the board, and this is pretty much what you're going to use to set up your workflow and to streamline everything. So you can start by naming your board. Make sure that it's something related to the project that you're working on or what you need to get done. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to call this How to Digital Management. Okay, so How to Digital is the name from the channel that you're watching right now. So this is going to be about managing this channel. Once you put in a name, you want to click right there. Now next up, you can start adding the workflow. So create structure with lists. Okay, so these are the lists, and in those lists you can add different cards. So this entire thing is called a board. This right here is a list, and in these lists you can then add cards, which I'll show you as well. So what I like to do right there, you can actually create your first list. So I pretty much like to do things to do. Then next up, I like to use in progress, and then done. Okay, now this completely comes down to your preferences, so you can customize this as well. However, I like this as my workflow. Next up, we're gonna get into the cards. So you can take a load off with cards. Make cards for things you need to do, organize, or just get out of your head. Okay, so right now we're gonna work in the list that's called things to do. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna write down a couple of things that I would need to do for this specific project. Now, like I said, this is about managing my YouTube channel. So that could be keyword research. Okay, so that's something that I have to do a lot if I wanted to make a new video. Let's say that I found a keyword. Next up, I would then have to outline that video. Okay, so outline a video. Now, once I actually made the video, all I need to do is edit the video. And then I also need to upload it. But for now, just to keep this simple, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Now next up, you can get into the details of a card. So right there, you can add descriptions, you can add attachment, checklist, and comments, but we'll get into that later on in this video. So make sure you keep watching if you wanna find out how that works. Okay, so you're ready to get started. We've just created our first ever board. So I'm gonna click right there to continue to Trello, and we can actually take a look at my board. Okay, so here we are in the Trello board. We're now in the How to Digital Management board. We have these different lists and different cards as well. I'm gonna add a few more cards in these lists to show you what my workflow looks like and what kind of workflow you can set up for yourself to make it really easy to understand and to get started with, especially as a beginner. So what I like to do, I like to write down an entire list of things to do for the week. So basically what I will do, I will write down all the stuff that I need to get done this week. So for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna add a few more. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so let's say that this week I have to do these 5 things. Let's say that on Monday, I get started with the keyword research, and I finished that on Monday. What I would do, I would drag this, so you can select this by clicking on it and holding it. I will drag this over to the done list so that I know that it's done. I then also like to click on the pen icon and then click on add labels, and then I like to add a green label just to visualize it and make sure that I actually know that it's done. Now let's say that on Monday I also started outlining my video, but I didn't complete the task yet. What I would do then is also drag this over, but not to done, but to in progress, which means that I'm working on it, I've started with it, but it's not finished yet, and I like to give those a orange label. Okay, so we have orange labels and green labels, and that's what I like to do with my different lists. Okay, this is great to visualize it. So right now I can see the things that I still need to do, the things that I've started with but I need to finish, but also the things that I've already completed, which is great. Now you can also add details in one of these cards. So you can click on a card and you can then start adding details. So you can add descriptions, you can add different checklists. So if you click on checklist, you can give that a title as well, and you can then add different items. So for example, if you want to break down editing a video, you can then say choose music. Okay, so for that video, I might have to choose music. I might have to find different effects. I might have to download transitions. Okay, so you can see where this is going. In here, you can actually add different things within that thing, if that makes sense. So editing a video, and you can then break that down even further by adding a checklist. Now, once you've completed one of these, you can then tick this box, and that's it, you're done. It will also show you how much of that checklist you've completed. So if I just check these two, I'm at 67%, which is cool. And those are the basics of adding boards, cards, and lists. Let's get into the more advanced stuff right now. For that, I'm going to go to the home page. Now, this is the home page. I'm going to click on boards right there. And on this page, you can find all of your boards. Now, because I just created a brand new account, it looks kind of empty, but I'll show you guys a screenshot of my actual Trello account and all of the different boards that I use. Now on Trello, you can also create a team. So if you're working with multiple people, it's actually really convenient to create a team on Trello, and that's exactly what I do as well to run this YouTube channel. Now you can do that by clicking right there on create a team. So click right there and you can then start adding a team. So let's build a team, add a name. For example, that could be, once again, how to digital. Next up, you can choose the team type. So let's say that it's human resources, you then choose that, and you can add a description, how to digital management. Okay, so don't pay attention too much at what I put in here. It's just an example of what you can actually do. You can then click on continue, and next up, you can start inviting people to your team. Now you can do this right away because this is a tutorial. I'm not actually going to invite people to this, but all you need to do is enter their email right there. Like I said, I'm not going to do this, so I'm going to click on I'll do this later. Okay, so here we are. We now have a team on Trello. Now all you need to do next is create a new board for this specific team. So click right there on create new board, and you can then add a board title. So like I said, this is going to be a team and a board for my YouTube channel. So I like to call it how to digital team. Now you can then click right there. You can choose to have this private, which you shouldn't do. Make sure you select it. Make sure you select team, but you don't want to click public in my opinion, because then anyone can actually find it on Google. So if you're working with confidential information, you should definitely make sure that this is not on public. And there you go. You've just created your team board. Now all you need to do next, if you want to, is customize all of this. So you can start off by changing the background. You can do that by clicking on change background on the menu sidebar. You can then choose photos. So you can choose any of these. However, I like to go with a color since it looks a bit better and more easy and easier to understand, in my opinion, what's going on the board. But that's totally up to you. You can then once again start setting up your workflow. So like I said, I like to add things to do. I then like to add in progress, and then finally done. So these are the different lists that I like to use. Next up, you can start adding cards. So right there, you would then write down all the things you need to do. So SEO, keyword research. You get the point. You basically write down everything you need to do, and you can also add different people on here. So let's say that you have people in your team. All you need to do to add them is click right there, add to cart. You then click on members, and you can then select the member in this team. For example, if you have different people working on different tasks, you can then add them by clicking right there. You can also add a date. You can do that by clicking right there, and you can then select a date and a time, and you can then even give them reminders as well. So you can choose none at the time of the due date, 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before, all the way up to 2 days before completing the task. And once again, you can also, just like in the other boards, add labels, checklists, attachment, covers, and all of that good stuff. So all of this comes down to setting up your workflow. Like I said, I like keeping it simple. I like to go with things to do, in progress, and done, so that I can keep track of the stuff that I need to do and the stuff that I've already done. And that's how I use Trello. So if this video helps you out, make sure you go ahead and leave a like. I would appreciate that. If you have any further questions, hit me up in the comment section down below, and then I'll see you next time. Have a good day.